Hello, Mr. P. How are you today?
Good, how you doing?
Good. How's your week?
Good, alright.
Awesome. So, we're here today to talk about Mia and what's going on with her. So, we took a look at the food diary that you and Mrs. P wrote out for me for her.
Okay.
And there was a couple things that we're going to talk about today. But first, I just want to reiterate some of the things that she's experiencing and some of the things I'm concerned about.
Right.
So, some of the things that we discussed were how she's in a low percentile for her height and weight. So we want to get her, specifically her height up so that we don't have to put her on growth hormones that can have other side effects in the long run.
Right.
You also told me about her digestive issues and how sometimes she gets stomach aches, she throws up often. So we want to take a look at some of those things and see what we could do in that case, according to her diet. And there are some, things in her diet that may be missing that we'll talk about, and some things that I think are really great that you guys are doing for her. Okay. So if you have any questions about anything, feel free to stop me, and we'll talk about them. Okay. Okay. So according to her food log, she is having breakfast. She's having a lot of kefir for breakfast, which is really great for her digestive issues. So I'm glad you guys are doing that.
Yeah.
She's doing blueberries and bananas, which is great because she needs 2 to 5 servings a day of fruit.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys are doing that for her for breakfast. Her calories were low. That was one of the first things that concerned me. So what types of things does she like to eat for breakfast other than the kefir? Does she like any protein-filled foods?
Not really. She's very picky.
Yeah. Does she like eggs?
Yeah, we can get her to eat eggs.
Yeah, okay. So maybe what we should do is we should start feeding her some eggs in the morning.
Okay.
If we do that, that'll get her calorie count higher.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to write that down on one of her weekly goals for this week. So weekly goals are to add eggs
Okay.
to breakfast. Okay.
Is there anything else we should add? Or?
Oh, we'll talk about that kind of stuff in a little while. But I want to talk about some other nutrients that she may be missing from her diet. Okay, so the number one thing I was concerned about with her are her calories. Now, according to her diet, she is getting approximately, hold on, let's see, she's getting about 944 calories average in a 3-day span. So I know that she went to the dentist one day and she didn't get a really great lunch in there. But what we want to do is we want to increase those calories. So things like adding eggs to breakfast. We want to add in more calorie-rich foods like dairy and cheese. And I say those things specifically because her calcium was also low. And I just want to let you know that calcium is a really important nutrient for children in general because they're growing. Okay, they need them to build strong bones, and that's what we want to see with her. We want to see height growth.
Right.
Okay, so does she like cheese? Does she like dairy?
Yeah, she does.
She does.
Yeah.
So maybe go home and tell Mrs. P that for lunch add in another cheese stick, some yogurt, different things like that. I know that when she drinks milk, Mrs. P told me she gets a stomach ache. So I think the kefir is really great because it adds in those probiotics for her. And it also has calcium. So I think that that's a great thing that you guys are giving her.
Right.
So that was my number one concern, her calorie intake as well as her calcium. So the second thing that we're going to do as our weekly goals, to add to our weekly goals, is add in more calcium-rich foods.
Which are what?
Okay, so good question. So we're talking dairy. So not milk, but more kefir, more yogurt, more cheese, as well as green leafy vegetables. Now, from her diet sheet, I see that Mia loves vegetables. So do you think that she would eat some green leafies? Like broccoli and kale, spinach?
Yeah, she does like that.
Okay, great. So those are the two things that we're going to focus on for her this week to add in more calcium into her diet. Okay. Some other things that we want to work on, according to her diet sheet, is we want to add in more red meats. And the reason why I say that is her iron was a little bit low. If she doesn't like red meat, we can try some legumes such as lentils or spinach. Spinach is a great source and it has the calcium. So for you guys, I think it would be really great to add in more spinach and more red meats into her diet. Now, I say red meats also because those are full of calories, and that's what she needs. She needs more calories in her diet. She's growing, and we want her to grow more, so we literally want her to eat as much as she can of the good nutrient-dense foods. And when I say nutrient-dense, I mean foods that are full of nutrition, like iron and calcium. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, so another thing that I was concerned about was the ice cream that she's eating at night. Now, I know that she loves sweets. She tells me this every time she comes in here. She loves her ice cream. But we want to try to lower that at night. Try to give her even a yogurt that has less sugar and fresh fruit in it. Or make, you know what you could do? You can make her a smoothie with Greek yogurt and fruit, and even put whey protein in there to give her more protein. Just to get her off that ice cream, because that ice cream is going to lower her immune system a little because of all the sugar that's in it. Okay? So, some other things that I recommend to for kids are to sweeten things with honey. So you can even give her a nice Greek yogurt with some raw honey in there. Or you can use stevia, which is a sweet leaf. Have you heard of stevia?
Yeah.
Have you tried it before?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
It's pretty good.
It's alright?
It's not as good as sugar.
No, it's not as good as sugar, but it's better for you. Okay. So great. Lowering the sugar, that's our third goal. So it looks like she had sugar 3 times this week. So can we try to give her sugar 2 times this week instead of 3? And we'll go from there?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our third goal for the week. Okay. Do you have any questions about anything?
No, I just don't really know too much as for, like you said, red meats. Like, she doesn't like steak.
Okay.
We could get her to eat, like, burgers and things like that. But
I'm okay with burgers. Burgers are a great choice.
okay.
You could also even get preservative-free, nitrate-free beef hot dogs. I'm sure she likes those. She's told me she likes those.
Yeah, she likes hot dogs.
Okay. So hot dogs are great. Applegate makes a great organic beef, no preservative hot dog that she would love. So things like that to add in more red meats. She doesn't like steaks. You could do burgers. You can do hot dogs. Those are probably her best options. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay, so what I want you guys to do this week is I want you to keep writing down her food for me. We'll take a look at it next week. We'll see how she's at. We'll see how she's feeling digestion-wise, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
You were good?
Yeah, I mean, if you have any recipes or suggestions as far as more foods, but besides that.
That's a great question. You could go to our website. We have a ton of recipes on our website of even different kinds of desserts that are lower in sugar or use alternative sweeteners. And the website is wellnessdonenaturally.com. We'll get you one of our cards on the way out. Amy has them up front. Okay?
All right.
Well, it was great talking to you, Mr. Pate.
You too.
Tell me and Mrs. P I said hi.
I will.
And we'll see you soon.
All right, take care.
Okay.